born an athlete, you'll die an athlete. It's in your DNA.
You're an athlete. Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.
Welcome, athletes, into the gym closet. I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was thinking, does Krave Nation work?
Ooh.
What's up, Krave Nation?
That's fun. Amber, your
I'm here
thoughts?
for it.
Oh.
You here for it?
Yep, I
Are
like
you busy? Are we interrupting?
You know what?
Are we interrupting your time?
I have a issue, and we'll get to it. But
Okay,
I'm
we'll
not
get to
very happy about this.
Okay. Well, we're definitely going to get to that if Amber's not happy about it. But in the meantime, if this is your first time joining us, Krave Gym the gym closet is in the back of Krave Gym.
Yeah.
This is why my brain's not working. But if you haven't listened to us, please subscribe, click the bell, hit the like on the thing, do all the algorithm stuff to push the podcast up in listeners and viewership. But if you have not joined us, thank you for joining us this time. We are a podcast that talks about how to be successful in life, how to live life like an athlete, and that's defined as greatness. So
Kind of feels like a Wednesday at 11.
it does.
Yeah,
It's
I was
Tuesday
just thinking that
at
actually.
1.
Yeah, we're recording a new time. We're testing out new times because we've had meetings that,
Went way too long, and then Dan couldn't participate,
Yeah.
and he really wanted to be a part of this. So
and we really want him on
we're
here.
like, Dan, we'll just move our schedule around just for you
Just
to
for
be
me.
on the
Make
podcast.
me feel special.
Yep, exactly. So that's why we are filming on Tuesday. Might even get it out earlier. Who knows? It's been a
Don't
couple
get your
weeks, so-
hopes up, people.
Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we got a awesome one today. We've had a couple weeks to quote unquote prepare. So whether we're actually preparing or not is up for debate. But did you want to get into
The problem? We should talk about the problem
I think you're
first.
passionate.
Let's
about
rage. Let's rage.
So,
fucking rage. So Krave
I-
Nation, how about that though?
the Crave Nation, I like it. So
Okay.
the craving, right? So last week we talked about the best way to eat potato. And so I was just looking at all the answers.
Oh, that's not the way I thought this was going.
I didn't
Right
think so
after
either. I
that.
thought
This
there was
is-
something.
I thought it was
Oh yeah,
something
no, I
different.
mean,
We might
we'll get
into
right
that
to the
later,
craving.
though.
Nothing this is like a big deal though. So people responded, and now I look back and I can't see the answers.
Oh.
So that's a problem. I remember some of them. So now you can't go
I thought
back
you
and
s-
like,
I thought you
I
said
thought
we
I
could-
screenshotted it, and that's what I was looking at, and is there any way to see it now that,
Yes. Can
how?
you scroll up?
No, you can't do anything.
Let me see. Go to radio.
Okay, but yeah. Anyways, the ones on there, someone said McDonald's French fries, which I agree with.
They're good.
They
Yeah, those
are.
good.
s-
Whoa, look
How
at
did
that.
Oh
you
my
do that?
gosh.
Look at you.
How did I do it? I scrolled up.
love it.
Like I told
Well, you need
you.
to show me how to do that.
Scroll up.
So someone said French fries and then everything else. Fries. French fries. Tots.
Which can
McDonald's.
we be
McDonald's.
more?
Pretty good.
We need to be more specific with this stuff, like because someone responded on mine fries, and I messaged. I was like, you gotta get more specific than fries. There's like curly fries, waffle fries, straight fries, crinkle fry. You know, there's so many types of fries, and she's like, I just like all fries. You know, that's not the point of this exercise. The point of this is to be controversial. The point is for hot takes.
What about
So-
smiley face French fries?
Smiley face
Smiley
French
face.
fries.
Yeah.
No, those
Those
might
are
be a little
solid.
bit too soggy. Have you ever had Runza's fries? Runza? Have you had a
Ew.
Runza?
No.
No?
No.
Oh my gosh.
This
You
is
guys need
Iowa
Runza.
now that you're in.
Oh,
Yeah, Runza's in
Runza's the
Nebraska.
bomb diggity.
So I got
Their fries are good, too.
cubed and roasted, which is
Okay.
a good one.
I got a key up.
I got tots. I got my answer is sweet and baked.
Ooh.
Sweet potato baked from specifically from
So my
Texas
answer-
Roadhouse.
Okay, you
Good,
took
yeah.
mine.
Okay.
So my specific
So
one was
good.
Texas Roadhouse sweet potato with all the toppings. I mean, does that
Good.
get pretty specific? Is that what
That's
you're
what I
looking for?
want.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
we want
that's what I
specifics,
say.
people.
What the other one that could take the cake for me, but I can't eat too much of it, and I got sick last time I ate it, was truffle fries.
Ooh.
Oh,
So
those
good,
are good.
But I can't eat too many of them.
Yeah, you got sick.
I don't know how well they're gonna go down next time because I don't remember how I got sick off them.
I don't know if it was the drinks or
They're
the...
good.
Probably yeah.
Could
You always
be.
think it's the food. It's never the alcohol problem.
Yeah.
It's the food.
We should review last Wednesday.
We should not ever talk about that day again.
That was a great. So we
Okay,
get volleyball.
hold on.
Wednesday was
Someone else
great.
said-
Thursday.
Okay, this is pretty specific. You'll appreciate this. We'll get back to that. Old fashioned baked with butter and EBTB seasoning.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't either. So
Get your Google machines out.
EBTB seasoning. Yeah.
I'll be asking. Next
Yeah, we're
time.
gonna ask.
At the noon session, I'll be asking.
Your wife?
She said gnocchi, yeah, which is
How do they make that?
gnocchi is like it's like. Do you know what gnocchi is?
Like a
it's
pasta?
with a. It's
Like
it's made out of potato. Yeah.
So it's
which I
kinda
never
like
would have thought.
pierogies. Have you heard of pierogies? It's like a potato inside a pasta. So maybe it's kind of similar to that.
It's not
No?
like inside a. It's literally
Oh.
just
Like the
like it. But it's like a little ball.
Oh, I'll have to
Yeah.
try it.
They're really good.
Do you
yeah.
like it too?
I do
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
The
They're
So do
already
you
good.
eat it
Shout
plain
out
or do you put stuff
is-
on it?
No, recipe, you put chicken and gnocchi. It's
Yeah.
chicken and gnocchi soup. Shred up some
Ooh.
chicken, put it in
Okay.
gnocchi, some like heavy cream and spinach and carrots in there.
Mm.
It's fine.
All right.
Random-
I'm gonna
Gnocchi's
try it.
good.
Random thing, fact, not, I don't know if it's fact or not. Random thing that I'm pulling from my past. Was Ball's drink, was that gnocchi in the Ball's drink? Or is there.
What?
Have you ever had Balls?
No.
No.
You haven't either?
Balls? No.
And
No.
you probably.
Never
They're
had
all the way
balls.
too young. Okay, so
No.
for anybody over 20, you have not. You've never
Well,
had
they're
Balls?
over 22.
No, I know. But you never had
Let's
Balls? the
say
drink?
30.
I think so.
It's an
Yeah.
old
Let's
drink.
say
It
30.
came in a blue glass bottle.
Like BALZ or
BALLS,
BALS?
I think.
Oh.
And you drank it, obviously, but it was like a soda
Oh, this.
with ball.
Let me
Oh
see.
yeah. But it had balls of some type of something in it, and I
Oh.
could never. For some reason, gnocchi sounded familiar,
I
so
don't
it
know.
was actually.
I don't think that this has the balls in it. I think
That's
you're,
it,
you're
yes.
thinking of, they make these drinks now that are like bougie drinks that are like, gosh, Fee would know, I think, because he's like bougie like that.
True.
It has something, I'm going to search it because it's going to be something that has like little balls in it and you drink it. No?
No
Like,
idea.
I think that's what you're
Not a
thinking of.
clue.
You're not thinking
No.
of that.
No, I
you
swear
guys-
it was in this back in the day.
Mm-mm.
There were little red balls in it.
If anybody
in this
knows,
in this
please
same
comment.
Oh, we're
This
going to find
exact
out.
same
We
thing.
won't find out now.
Comment
We'll
below
find out.
if you
Comment
have any.
below, yeah.
And I guarantee it, so many people know what I'm talking about because it's like this drink that you can get and it has like little balls at the end and it's like an ice cream and shit. But
Oh, boba?
yeah, yes.
Yeah, boba,
So
yeah.
there's like little pasta things in there.
That's not pasta.
What is it?
It's like, first of all,
Jello or
first
something?
of all, it's gross, is what it is.
Is it? I've never
Yeah,
had it,
I think
but-
it's disgusting.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, this brings up a whole other story. This is fucking podcast. So I didn't realize that like all these balls of boba, I guess, are like sitting on the bottom
So it's
there.
like a fruit, maybe.
Maybe it's like gel-ish.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
it's like a
Yes,
gelatin.
Yeah,
yes.
it's like a gelatin type
Yeah.
thing. So like Haley likes it, so
She's bougie like
She's
that.
bougie like that. Yeah. So she got one with our friends, and I got like an ice water. So she's like, "Oh, have it." And so like it's kind of like a milk tea. So
Yeah.
I had it, and it was okay. So I took a sip, and I was like, "Oh, it's okay." And so she like handed me back for another one again. I took a sip out of it, and like 9 of these little boba balls like went down my throat, and I like choked on it.
Didn't know what to expect.
No.
I guess that makes sense. So like that would happen. You just gotta
Yeah,
be
because they're all just like
expecting
sick.
it.
I had no expectations of having all these
So do
little.
people like chew the balls usually?
I honest to God
or
don't
what
know.
happens?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. But yeah. So that's
I
what it reminds me of,
swear
so.
the balls.
We're gonna
drink
find
had
it.
balls.
No, I don't think it
I
ever
think it
did.
did.
I think it was just like 7-Up or something.
That was like I remember. So I was riding my bike to the gas station to get those. So that had to be a long time ago,
30 years ago. 28 years ago, probably.
something like that.
Yikes.
Aging us. So the new craving this week is, let's get more specific with it, the best cookies. So it's
Did we-
Well,
national.
we didn't even.
narrow
We didn't
down-
even
narrow
say
down the
our.
potatoes. What,
No.
What's
Oh.
yours? Or you
Yes,
said yours?
Texas Roadhouse
Yeah,
sweet
I
potato
I would agree
loaded.
with that.
Oh,
Yep.
although I never get it loaded, I'm tempted
Those
to.
are good. Yeah.
I've gotten it loaded like one time where I'm just like, I don't care. But
Those are
ooh,
good.
it's-
What's yours?
Mine is potato wedges. I love
Ah.
it, but like crispy though, like not like the big, like just like a big chunk of like raw potato, like crispy.
Oh,
Fried.
I got another one. I got was twice baked potatoes, which are
Those are
delicious.
good. Those
I got that. I got a couple.
So where do you like your
mashed
wedges? Do you
potatoes.
have a place that like your wedges are your go-to?
Pizza Ranch has good wedges.
Okay.
Godfather's has good wedges. For some reason, pizza
That's
buffets
funny,
tend
yeah.
to have good potato wedges for whatever reason.
Okay, Dan, let's hear it.
Oh, poutine fries.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
That's what's
That's-
up.
yep.
Those are good.
There, is it? I don't know if it's a Wisconsin thing or like like an up north thing, but it was either poutine or like. But that's kind of a South thing, right?
I think Southern.
Is poutine kind of a
I think
Southern
it
thing?
is. Yeah,
There-
Louisiana.
I thought it was
There
like
was
a, I thought it was like a Canadian thing.
I was thinking.
Poutine.
I thought poutine
I think it's like a Canadian thing. Because I had a
too.
professor
In
that was from
Wisconsin.
Canada, and he was like all about poutine, and he.
I thought it was like.
Yeah, in Wisconsin they had poutine, but they had like basically loaded chili fries and stuff that were delicious
Yeah.
at places. But then is that at what point? I think it has to be the ratio 50+% has to be potato in order
Fair,
to count
yeah.
into this
Yeah.
thing. And does the poutine count? And is that 50+% potato? 50+%.
In my world, it is.
Okay.
You guys are right. It's Quebec.
Quebec.
Canada.
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 Canadian.
Yeah. bud.
Canadians.
Has anybody ever watched Letterkenny here?
Yes, I watched. I
Good show.
rewatched some
Fantastic
yesterday.
show.
Yeah,
It's a funny
hilarious.
show.
Is that it? Orbits?
Orbits may have been one of it, but I do know that balls at one point they may have gotten rid of the balls that were in it, but that was why it was called Balls, the drink, because there
Makes
were
sense.
balls in it. They may have gotten rid of it. I don't know if they still sell it or not. But cool.
Quebec.
Um,
Okay, so yes. I don't think we. What's yours? Did you say sweet potato from
Yes.
Texas Roadhouse?
Yep.
It's
Nothing on
so good. Nothing on a plane is good too.
Mm-hmm.
The steak fries, fully loaded from Texas Roadhouse.
Everything,
Also very
like, You
good.
cannot
Everything
beat
is
that
good
place.
there, yeah,
It is
seriously.
so good.
We need them to sponsor.
Seriously,
our podcast.
sponsor us, Texas Roadhouse.
So this week will be favorite type of cookie. And speaking of, we went to Dream Night at the zoo on Saturday night, and then we took a trip to Ankeny.
Ooh, I already
to
know
go
where this
to
is
Crumble
going.
Cookie,
Oh,
and it was
so good.
so good.
Super
like,
good.
oh my word.
They have one going.
Fantastic.
They have
Can't
one
even
going
describe
in, over
in West Glen, yep.
Yeah.
So I got there first off, and I guess I've been to it like in Sioux Falls before, so I kind of knew what I was getting into. But you forget that like each cookie's like $6 or something. So you're
Yeah.
like, holy shit for a cookie! But they are like this big. They're awesome. So it's National Cookie Day on Sunday, so they should sponsor us because I'm going to send everybody to Crumble on Sunday to get a cookie.
Yeah, we should work on a partnership.
We
yeah,
should.
we should
Free
do
cookies.
this prior to now. They don't have to do anything now.
You're right. Now they've already
I
done
know,
it.
I know.
Like,
But-
wait a minute. We
So-
don't have to sponsor you.
Yeah.
You already did the ad.
So
No,
that's
they
why
were
we're doing
delicious.
cookies is because National Cookie Day is coming up on Sunday. So share your favorite cookies.
You don't have to twist an arm. I've never been there. So.
Oof, it's good.
You guys should go.
It's
It's
super
so
good.
worth it.
Yeah,
Like
we
we were
should
glad that we
definitely go.
went. We were glad.
I
And
made
every
a
week they
point-
switch their menu up, I think. So I don't know what next week will be, but
I made a point to say though that the bucket of carnival cookies is better than
You do like
crumble.
those.
The state fair cookies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
also
State fair ones.
Yeah.
and we
Super
came to the
good, yeah.
conclusion that this one had more baking powder in it or baking soda, so it's more fluffy.
Whatever
And those
fluffies.
ones are like flat. The
I don't
carnival
like-
ones
I
are
don't
flat,
like the
so
fluff.
he likes them because of that. Yeah.
Less cakey.
You liked them
more.
the next day better.
I would probably agree with that. Yeah, I would probably prefer the state fair cookies, but I mean they're also different.
Yeah,
they're different
right.
types
Different.
of thing. You know,
different.
they're different. They're different. They're
I love how you say different. Yeah, so cookies will be our next week's craving. So take a
Be specific.
yes, and pay attention to social media. They'll be shared all around. Put your vote in.
Tyler to the rescue on this last one, the responses. Because I didn't think we had it.
Oh yeah.
I was like, shit.
yeah.
We don't have any
No, yeah,
responses.
just a swipe up.
Okay, got it.
Just a nice easy swipe up. No big deal. All right. So getting into we got word of the week. We have in our segments. We have a myth.
It's not even a
Less
myth.
than a myth.
It's just
Well, I think the whole persona is a myth.
the
Let's
whole
jump right
thing is a
into it.
myth. Liver King.
Yeah.
Liver King.
Fuck that guy.
he is a his entire persona is a giant myth. But there's been a bunch of recent controversy with Liver King that he went on an interview with Paul, and so this is the bigger problem, right? Is the Logan Paul or
One of those idiots,
impulsive?
yeah.
One of them, yeah. So they have millions and millions of people, very similar to our podcast, listening to their podcast.
So they're very influential.
This is the problem here. Yeah.
Yeah, so the problem is when they have a guest like him that goes on there and says just hot garbage, they have millions of people listening to that, and the way that he says things, you would think that, oh, that's true. Or at least, you know, then you have some people arguing, oh, you know, prove that it's not true if it isn't true. And that, and again, we talked about this last week or the week before.
Clickbait, yeah.
The clickbait,
Yeah.
the marketing, the social
The
media.
last episode.
It's very dangerous to have such an influence spreading hot garbage information. But one of the things that he had said that I saw a clip that was pulled was that when you eat, so I should backtrack. Quick story about him. He is basically a primal lifestyle. Is the way
He wants
that-
to. He's promoting the ancestral lifestyle
There we
of
go.
like, you know, go out and hunt with your bare hands and eat raw meat and raw organs because that's what humans are meant to do.
Right.
That's what, you know.
Yeah.
So
So that's kind of a background on what his stuff is, and in that he was talking about a bunch of stuff, but he stated that there's studies that show that if you eat organs of meat that it correlates and it's healthy, and your organs that correlate with that organ will take the nourishment and do all that kind of stuff. So then he went on to talk about if you have, you know, lung cancer, if you have different things that could be potentially injured or not be functioning correctly, that you should eat that organ of animal. He also went on to say that you have the stronger the animal,
yeah.
the more energy, the stronger you will get having eaten that animal. And so there's just a lot of stupid things that he had said, but the whole thing needs to be stamped with a giant myth as far as I'm
His
concerned.
philosophy and everything. So he
Everything.
actually like does he show videos of eating this
Well,
stuff?
take a
And,
time out. Yeah, he shows videos of himself doing it. What he actually does is inject himself with shitloads of steroids.
Yes.
In reality,
Yeah.
So he's a huge dude. Takes
Right.
steroids, but he will like do a video of like eating like
he'll do a video
heart.
of himself like eating a raw organ.
Oh,
Or 50,
my God.
50 shots
50
of
shots
eggs.
of blood or something like that. Yeah. So like, yes, he's a marketing
Right.
tool.
Yeah.
You know. So
I
Emphasis
couldn't
on
watch
Yeah,
that.
emphasis
more
on
than
the
one
tool
way.
Yeah.
part.
I
Yeah.
cannot watch that.
But it's you know, it's just interesting, and to me it's funny because obviously he's a marketing tool, and obviously he's not living his life like this, but he does all of these little gimmicky things, and then he turns around and walks to his like $4 million house.
Yeah.
And
It's not very ancestral to be like living in his
Right.
mansion and
Right.
taking his private
Yeah.
jet around.
And that's one thing. Like I
True.
would, if a person believed in this way of life, whatever it is, great, right? But just the fact that you tell people to live this certain life, and then you turn the camera off and go back to whatever you're doing, right? That just is, it just spits in the face of anybody that would actually do the things that they say. There's a lot of
Right.
people that may believe certain things, even if right or wrong, but they may then live that way, right? If I'm a huge keto person and I may not have the correct things for keto, but I have a lot more respect for someone that actually then lives and eats keto and does all this other stuff, right? Where like I even lose more respect for someone like the Liver King that is literally just a commercial for whatever stupid supplements, whatever he's selling, liver pills, organ meats, different things like that are just absolutely crazy. But Lane Norton went off and I love his talks, but he went off on a rampage because he has seen, and I think all of us, if you've been in the industry, you've seen people that end up harming themselves one way or another because of information that they pull from somebody like this idiot that that a lot of people believe, and that's why you have to go and debunk, and I think it's important. Lane Norton said that it's important for him. He has a lot more followers than us, but someone like that and us to go on and debunk these things are important, because if all of us do that, then we may have a chunk of the same following as the Liver King or Impulsive and some of the other. And that's the bad thing is, like, podcasts will have him on because he has such a big following, right? So a podcast would have him on to bump their numbers and to get his listeners.
We would think about it.
I would definitely have him on.
For sure. I think it'd be interesting. Yeah,
but I would have such a skeptical interview that he wouldn't want to come on.
We wouldn't want him on here. I'm just joking and
but I mean,
just to get our numbers up a little bit,
right? Crank them up a little.
Let's go.
Yeah, but no, I mean that's the biggest thing when it comes to myth.
It's crazy
with him. But I think we've talked about it in nauseum when we went over last week or 2 weeks ago, whatever it was. When we talked about the scam artists on
but I never knew about him until today.
Really?
Oh yeah, he's
just probably a good thing.
I was gonna say the problem is so if you go look at him, like, so many people that I talk to are like, oh well, I just follow him because he's funny and he does these outlandish crazy things, and I'm like, well, that's great and all, but you're also following him, like, that gives him power, and so I would recommend not following him, if you want to go see, I hate...
Because it's kind of like this unfortunate thing where people relate followers with, like, a credibility aspect, right? So, like, if he comes out and he has, I don't know how many millions of followers that he has, people just stumbling across his page are going to say, holy crap, this guy has multiple millions of followers. He's telling me to do this. I'm going to do it because he obviously knows what he's talking about.
Yeah. And then that person's going to tell their friend to do it, and then that friend's going to tell someone else.
Yeah. And one of the main points was that Lane was talking about on his deal was that that a lot of people, the Liver King has mentioned, like, treatments for cancer and stuff like that, to where that would make people think that doing these certain things would help with cancer and all this other stuff, which could, with the amount of followers and the amount of people that are desperately looking for something, could potentially have someone not do proper treatment for cancer and try to do Liver King's treatment for cancer and end up killing them.
Yeah.
So I mean, those are really drastic points, but the fact that many people following I feel like you have a responsibility to, not be a danger to people's health and shit like that. Claiming things that aren't true and have no scientific backing is dangerous when it comes to that kind of stuff. So,
what's your segment, Dan?
Ooh, what do you got? What do you got for us?
Do you have a segment yet?
Ooh.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, we
need one.
We do need to.
That was getting to craving. We need to get.
I was gonna say we need a craving.
Craving of
what Dan's segment would be.
Our extra segment should be.
Okay, I'll post 2 of them.
2 cravings.
You think I can handle that this week?
No.
I love proving people wrong. It's my favorite.
That's the only time you get anything done.
Ooh, it's true.
When you have doubters. Yep.
Bring on the haters.
Right, I love it. So the word of the week today is accountability. So one thing that we do at Krave, and one thing that we, one of the reasons why our athletes are so successful is because of accountability. A part of a team, a part of the coach's job is holding athletes accountable to their goals and all this kind of stuff. So everybody, I think, knows the definition of accountability being that holding someone accountable for their goals. I think what oftentimes gets overlooked, and what I want to talk about more today, is holding yourself accountable and getting like the main point of what I've been thinking about for the last couple of weeks since we haven't had this podcast. It's been kind of developing longer for me in the last couple of weeks. But when you hold someone accountable and they let you down over and over and over, you start to feel a certain way about that person, right? You may lose respect for that person. They've, even as small as, like, say that someone tells you, your teammate tells you that they're going to work out at a certain time, okay? They don't show up, or they show up 15 minutes late, or whatever the case might be. If that continues to happen, that then gets to be part of their personality, or a way that you perceive them as an individual, because they don't hold themselves accountable to those things that they're promising you. I think the bigger detriment to being successful is holding yourself accountable and realizing that if you tell yourself that you want to work out at a certain time, say, I'm going to be at a certain place at a certain time, whatever, and you're late, even if it doesn't affect anybody else, say that it's just you going to your office to start work, just you going to start breakfast, just you waking up with your alarm, right? If you continuously have that lack of trust in yourself, then that starts to become who you are and how you perceive yourself. Just like how you would perceive a buddy that never shows up on time. You start having that kind of issue with them. Well, now that buddy is yourself, and if you continuously let yourself down, or let yourself kind of talk your inner voice, talk yourself out of doing what you should do, what you've done, what you've planned on doing, then you then become that perception of, I'm a shitty person, I can't get this done, I don't know, I don't have the confidence to do X, Y, and Z, and it just continues to get worse and worse and worse. And so the bigger thing that I want to concentrate on this week is holding yourself accountable and having that positive inner voice take over that negative inner voice that says, oh, it's just okay. It's okay to be 5 minutes late for whatever it is. It's okay to, when you're working out, and especially if you're not working out with your team, but it's okay to not add those 5 pounds, even though that's what I wanted to do. That's what's on my program. That's what I should do. Or skipping those last couple sprints. All of that negative inner talk can come out. But I think if you hold yourself accountable, you start to regain that trust with yourself. That confidence comes out. You start identifying as a more positive person, as a more successful person. And if you continue to hit those strides and those steps, and you make it a habit to tell the negative inner voice to shut the fuck up, and you just do things, then you're going to start portraying yourself and having the confidence to do the things that you need to do that kind of make that step towards bigger things in life. And so I think we talked about it. Well, this was probably a long time ago, so I think it was Jordan. When Jordan was on the Gym Closet, he talked about anytime that he would get that inner voice that says, just don't do that today. Like that was a trigger in his mind that he helped train himself to say. Anytime that he heard that in his voice, and we've all heard those inner voices, right? Whenever he heard that in his head, he goes, no, fuck that. Now's when I have to pull the trigger, and I'm not going to procrastinate anymore. I'm just going to get that thing done. And so I think that is a huge thing that all of us can work on, and keeping the appointments to ourselves is one of the big things, and holding ourselves accountable when it comes to that. Because I think that the value in Krave is a lot, and the value in any team that you're on is a lot of that accountability. I feel if I'm working out with my team, I feel like I'm going to push myself more. Why is that? That's just because you don't have that inner voice telling you, oh, you're good to slow down, you're cool.
And you hold yourself more accountable.
And you hold yourself, well, you don't even hold yourself accountable. you feel like you want to be accountable to your teammates, right? And so you continue to push, you continue to do this thing. But what are you doing when no one else is looking, right? Krave creates this environment where we have a team, we have a coach. All of that stuff is to be held accountable. We have a booking online, so we know, like, if anybody's signed up for tonight's training session, we know you're booked. If you don't show up, you should feel that your coaches are all going to see that you're letting someone else down, right? And I think that's very easy when it comes to our program and the team. I think the harder part now becomes what we're going to concentrate on this week is identifying that inner voice that Andy Frisella calls it your bitch voice, and drowning out that bitch voice and saying, hey, this is a negative thing that I'm trying to, because ultimately, and I don't remember who said this, but ultimately we want to be comfortable as human beings. Like, our entire homeostasis is that I want to not work hard. I want to be as comfortable as possible, and our inner voices, everything is pulling us in the direction of easy, right? The problem is easy is not successful. And so when we take those easy routes, we give into that inner voice instead of holding ourselves accountable, and we start to identify as that, that person that is that we don't want to be. And so that's going to be a big thing that I want everybody to concentrate on, is holding yourself accountable. And basically the action steps for this week is just identifying, look, I heard myself say in my head that I can wait to do this report until tomorrow. I can not do an extra 5 pounds because or not attempt to, because that would be harder.
Right.
I don't feel like it. Anything that's like, I'm not gonna do the dishes. I'm not gonna take the trash out right now because of all this stuff. But that is, that's ultimately being detrimental to your personality. And just like anybody else, and this was one of the big things that stuck with me with some of the research I was doing on this stuff the last couple of weeks, was it sticks with you. Like, I've judged people, and I think fairly, on their personal habits or lack thereof, right? And if you judge people on, say, a job interview, right? You show up to a job interview, especially if I'm interviewing you, and you're 8 minutes late.
Or you don't show up at all.
Or you don't, well,
Those are my favorite
you don't show
ones.
up at all.
It's been happening a lot more lately.
Yeah. But if you show up for a job interview
What the
8
hell?
minutes late, you're most likely not going to get that job unless, like, the front end of your car is like wrecked and you walked to
And
the
the cops
job
follow.
interview.
And the cops
You know what I
follow.
mean? But like that's an extreme. There's extreme cases, but the fact remains that I now have judged that person for doing that. Right? Well, I should also judge myself. Whether I know it or not, I start to judge myself if I do things like that in life. Right? And that's not how you get ahead and continue to stack on those W's instead of those losses. So, so I guess what are some things that you could think of if that you've heard your inner voice being, a little weiner? I had to lighten things up a little bit.
Well,
A little,
I guess what I can think of is just like at night, I don't want to go do laundry, but it's sitting there and I just know it's there. And like today, it's still there and it just pisses me off because it's just hanging over my head.
Sure.
But I'm like, I should get off my phone, like go upstairs and fold laundry at like 8:30 at night. But part of me is like, when the kids go to bed, you just want to just like decompress, and laundry's the last thing I want to do. But it's like holding myself accountable to go do it and just get it done because it's always just going to be there. I mean.
Do you like? And I might be completely off base because I literally sometimes can hear like the voice in my head that says like, "Nah, you're good. Sit down." Like, you know what I mean? Like, am I the only one that?
Because
actually,
part of me is like,
hears that?
oh, I still have clean clothes, so is it that big of a deal? But it's just stupid shit like that, or like I should go do the dishes, but I want to play with the kids, or something like that, So it's different. I don't know. I don't really have I feel like I hold myself pretty accountable.
That's good.
Amber doesn't have these problems
I
that
don't
we
have
do.
them.
Right?
No,
I know.
But then you feel good
I can't-
after, right? Like,
Yeah.
Once you
Oh,
like
yeah.
go out, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah,
shit,
totally,
I, can't,
yeah.
I feel so
good.
much better.
I feel
and then,
so much better, but it's just that little petty shit that I'm like, literally this morning I was changing laundry out. I'm like, I will pay a high schooler to come over and do my laundry for me. I fucking hate it that bad.
There is like services that can do that.
Absolutely there is, but I'm like, okay, now I'm just being a lazy ass. Am I being a lazy ass or am I using my time wisely? I don't really know, but I debated it this morning. I'm like, some high schooler probably wants some extra cash. Doesn't have to be a ton.
But
But-
I guess the thing you have to think about though too is, do you like trading off time with kids versus doing the laundry is, I mean, those are
I don't know.
choices
But
that
that's
you make that
right.
aren't a bad thing.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So that's my accountability.
Yeah, if it's like spend more time with your kids, like that's
Right.
No, right.
that's more understandable.
Yes. No, right. Not
My
like
thing,
I'm gonna
like-
have some with my kids and just go sit in my room and not do anything. Like
Like,
it's
my
just
big thing
I would rather
would
take my
be-
kids to the park than fold laundry.
Right,
And have
right,
someone
right.
not take my kids to the park while I'm folding laundry. So it's like flipping that around,
Yeah.
you know.
I literally like thought about this last week. We were deadlifting and like I was my inner voice. I literally said, "Keep the weight there," and it was whatever we were doing reps and I was like, but why not rep more or why not add the 25 pounds on each side that I was planning on doing, because it's going to be harder. I want to be satisfied with this weight that I'm doing, and so it was weird because it was this inner conversation that was happening, like, screw you pussy, like, to get this done.
You
and then
wiener.
the other side, little wiener.
Wiener.
And then this side was was saying, no, you're good, just it's the same. It's the same thing. Do one extra rep, and it's the same volume, and then you're good. Like that's my voice in my head, like saying that it's okay if just do an extra rep, and then like the volume's the same. So like technically, scientifically,
Holy
it's a-
shit! Does your brain ever shut off?
It doesn't. Like it's.
I'm so. I don't know. I don't know how
Rattling.
you do it. I don't know. How about you guys?
I also don't have any problems. No.
No problems for me.
No, yeah, I mean it's the same thing. I mean, I would say dishes for me is definitely one.
Okay.
If we're just diving into like what we really
You need
struggle
more-
to do.
Right, yeah. And it's good hearing that when like you guys have the dogs and stuff, but not kids, So, but I think that's just a thing for everybody. It's just
well,
like,
it's like
another
Tyler said,
tedious
like
task. It's like
it's always like mine is like what's one more night, like if we go 2 nights without doing dishes, then at that point I'm just like stacking shit on, and I'm like, what's one more night?
Right.
Or like the trash bag, I'm like, I could
Right.
stack this thing on top of the
Yeah.
trash. Like it's still balancing, it's still there. Like, do I really need to take it out right now, or could I just do it tomorrow? You know what I mean? So yeah, and it's one of those things that when you do it, it's just that wasn't hard, and now I feel so much better.
exactly.
But and that's the crazy thing is there's a reason you feel better after
Right.
doing that.
Right.
Like you've now accomplished, as small of a task as it is,
Right.
you've now accomplished this thing that you told yourself you should do.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now
Right.
you're listening to the boss voice in your head versus the bitch voice in your head.
Right.
And that's the like dishes. It's funny too. Like my brain will literally I can hear this voice in my head, which I might be a crazy person. But I can hear the voice in my head, like when talking about dishes, like so whatever.
Maybe it's
on-
just
on
my
a night-
voice because I'm just gonna come
Right.
bitch you.
no, but on the night, like when I'm home with the kids, I'll be making dinner or whatever, and then I'll be like, hey, Amber would love if the dishes were done, and like that actually is
Love
in my
it.
head,
It only took
and
you
then
10
that's when
years. 10 years. I thought you'd be like.
it's still very
I thought
fading.
Amber would be like, "Do the fucking dishes, you motherfucker!"
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, but it's just a very faint. When
Amber
that's the
would
case, it's a
love
very
fucking
faint voice, so very soft voice saying, "You should do all."
And I'm coaching. I'm just like, I hope he's fucking doing the dishes
You're on a roll tonight.
Jeez.
today because
Yeah.
it's a good time. I'm tired in
true.
the morning, so I just
True, yeah.
That's true. You get
11 a.m. is awfully early.
11.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I just took I have more energy right now. I'm good.
That's what's up.
Pre-workout.
That's
Do
good.
that too.
Nice.
Okay,
Anything
Dan,
else?
let's hear it.
No, I think
What problems do you
when-
have?
Pretty perfect too. He
No,
said.
no, definitely not. No. But no, I definitely am a follower of Andy Frisella, and that bitch voice that you were talking about is like the biggest thing. And I think 2 years ago is when I really started to follow him, and then I didn't realize that I had that voice in my head until I read the book and started listening to his podcast, and I was like, oh shit, I do have that bitch voice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's like as simple as doing the dishes, taking trash out, but then also like at night, reading. Like doing that, it's like, all right, put the phone down, or even going to bed early. Because I am notorious for rolling over, scrolling on my phone for 10, 15 extra minutes, and then I'm like, shit, in the morning, I'm like, damn, like, okay, I should have slept, I should have went to bed, so.
And doesn't it make you think, like, I always think about that, how life was without phones? Like, we wouldn't have that shit, you know, just distractions all the time.
Yeah, I had the same exact thing happen last night. I started watching the last season of Stranger Things, which is
scary.
Solid, by the way.
Too scary for me.
It's just loud as
You think
fuck.
so?
I was like, can you turn that down? Like,
Yeah,
I can hear
it's
it
so
up
loud.
here.
But like instead of going to bed when typically I'm in bed at 10 o'clock, like to the point where my phone, I have try this. This is actually a cool thing that helps me. My phone at 10 o'clock turns grayscale, like there's no color on it anymore and no sound on it anymore. So like it's I don't know if it's a sleeping app or part of the phone or whatever. Somehow I set it and I don't know how to unset it. That's one thing one reason it's not. but regardless, I set it at one point, so I knew what I was doing at one time. But like it literally, like I can't see anything and I can't hear anything. So like it's like pointless scrolling and stuff like that. It's not entertaining anymore because I'm like this black and white. I really wonder what color those shoes are. You know, like that doesn't.
That's interesting. I wonder if it does something.
But then it makes me, I think, put the phone down quite a bit faster. But that's a different thing. So typically I'm like 10 o'clock. So 10 o'clock hits and there's like probably 30, 40 minutes left in this episode that I was watching, and I had that voice in my head saying, you should probably just watch it another time. Like it's on Netflix, so you can literally watch this anytime that you want. And then the other one was like, nah, watch it. Just relax.
And then the lights are off. My phone's not on. Comes in, are you sleeping? And I'm like, yeah, I am. Actually, I was.
Not anymore.
What do you think I'm doing? That's the thing, is I can fall asleep pretty fast. But I was like, yes, I'm sleeping.
But that was just right after the kids. Anyway, I was like 2 seconds after the kids went to bed.
Well, I was sleeping.
You went to sleep fast. Anyway, but then this morning, Ivy wakes up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, damn, I really regret not going to sleep earlier, because going to bed at 10:45 or 11 compared to 10 and then waking up at 5 is like night and day difference. But and so now I'm dragging ass.
It's harder now that summer's like, I don't know if you guys found this too, like it's hard going to bed earlier.
I do not
I want
have
to be
this problem that you
outside
guys
like later
have.
because it's just lighter, and so I want to be outside. So then I'm like, damn, it's already 8:30.
You go to bed early?
Oh my god, I like fall asleep on the couch at like 8:30 every night. Like
I'm that way.
I'm so tired.
That's
constantly.
a guy.
But it's because I'm old now. I'm 25 now, so
Right.
I'm old as hell.
You're old. Yep, you're the old one. No, I would literally like if we're all home and we're sitting on the couch. I don't know if it's a dad thing or what, but as soon as I had kids, like I can fall asleep standing up, watching the kids. I could fall asleep just
That's
standing.
the worst.
Yeah.
I'm like, just go up and
Anytime.
go to bed if you're that tired. Because
I'll
they'll be like, Dad. I'm like, wake up, they're talking to you.
Yeah.
Dad.
I'm good.
Answer that.
I'm good. Anything else we got today?
I don't think so.
I don't know. We need to do the volleyball preview for tomorrow. Team Krave 1 has 2 games tomorrow.
5:30
Get
and
excited.
7:30.
Anyone that wants to come out, 5:30 and
Team
7:30.
Krave number
Cream
2,
tape.
6:30.
Cream tape.
Cream tape number 2.
Cream team number 2.
That's about how they play too. No,
Yeah, Cream and the other team.
That was
Oh,
so
yeah.
fun last week.
That was
it was
really
fun.
Yeah,
So-
maybe Team Krave number 1 will actually play a game this week. We'll find
Yeah,
out.
hopefully.
We're 2-0 based on forfeits only.
So we have a game
So-
5:30, 6:30, 7:30. So if anybody's bored
Oh, yeah.
tomorrow night, wants to come out, it's in, what's it, Sportsplex?
Sportsplex.
In
whatever.
Waukee, so
yeah.
it's by the Waukee location across the street. So it's fun. You can bring your own drinks
Yep,
and just
margaritas
sit outside.
afterwards.
Well, are
That
you
was
doing
my
that?
God. I hope not. That was my.
I don't.
That was my bitch voice last week. Was
You should go home.
don't drink that fourth margarita, Zach. But then Amber's real person voice
No,
was like,
Tony.
"Come on, Zach.
Tony.
Come on, you bitch."
I think that's Molly's fault because she
Yeah.
bought the pitcher. I just think that was just the punch bowl of
I know.
stuff. I had my own jalapeno margarita. It was great.
It was still fun though.
It was so.
It was a blast
so
on
worth it.
Wednesday.
I loved it. It
Yeah.
was awesome.
Thursday was not a
Jerry
blast.
showed up.
Jerry was there.
I think Jerry's because we
Jerry.
got excited when we saw Jerry. We're like,
Jerry- it's probably
Jerry
Jerry's
never
fault,
comes out.
honestly,
Yeah,
yeah.
it probably was. Actually.
I would say it's Jerry's fault.
Yeah.
It wouldn't-
Somehow we just blamed it on Jerry. All of us got drunk. We're gonna blame it on the
Because
one
it's Jerry's
sober.
fault.
We're gonna blame it on the one sober guy. That's awesome.
I bet he felt good in the morning. Way better than we all
Way
did.
better than I did. I know that.
Definitely did. Awesome. Well, thank you guys for listening. Remember, hold yourself accountable this week. We got a lot actually. So we have some cool things coming up. On the 18th is a Saturday at 9 a.m.
Mhm.
We have a
Event at
Train
Kinship.
Together with the Special Olympics athletes at Kinship. So it's an awesome event. It's outdoors. We have the trailer out. We do a workout, and then everybody. Is it free drink ticket again? This
$10 a ticket, but you get a free drink ticket.
you get
yeah.
a free drink
Yep.
with that. So,
Cool. Yeah.
so
then a
yes,
donation to
your
Special Olympics.
your $10. If you go to craveathlete.com, you can purchase your ticket. If you are not local and you want to donate to the cause, all of the proceeds go to Special Olympics. So if you want to donate to the cause, go to craveathlete.com and buy a ticket for that. That ticket is worth one free drink as well as the workout on the 18th. So come over there, do that.
I was telling people, I'm like, this was like the highlight of their month that month. And I was like, maybe again this month. I'm like, no, they're at Disney World right now. Like,
Yeah.
this kinship event's going to
That's
be
true.
like, okay,
It'll
guys,
be a
this is all you
distant
can
second.
do.
Yeah, that's true. Well, not
No,
all of
they're
them.
going to
are
have
there.
a blast. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh
So
no,
not
it was
all of them
so.
are there.
It
They're
was
gonna have-
super, super,
It
super
was
fun last
so
year. Yeah,
fun.
it was awesome.
And Kinship is super excited for the event too. They're excited to have us. So
Yeah, so that's the 18th this month. Next month we have our Summer Classic. So we have our competition that we will have a bunch of vendors and all that kind of stuff. We are starting the planning for that right now. So we'll have, as the vendors commit and we get the event kind of calculated out as far as who's going to be there, we will let everybody else know. But we're trying to have a ton of people there. We will have some food vendors there. We'll have some stuff to do, whether you're competing or not. Come and cheer on your teammates that are competing, because we have the Winter Classic or the Summer Classic. If you weren't here for the Winter Classic, is the other 3 challenges that we'll be rolling through in a championship / competition.
and if
So,
you're a vendor and are interested in having a booth, let me know. Message me
Amber A. Robinson
right here.
at KraveGym.com.
It's me.
So, so yeah, I think that. Anything else, guys?
I don't think so.
I'm good.
Remember, you're an athlete. Live like it.
It's in your DNA.
Live like an athlete so that you can be successful in life.
You're an athlete. Live like it.
ANA, America needs athletes.